getdowntobusiness.com now.
Hey, Chicago. Welcome back to Get Down to Business. You can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website, shalomklein.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein, and you can keep track of the show, the podcasts, and watch the show on Facebook Live on our Facebook page. Frankly, any social media platform, you can find me there, and we are powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solutions center. Check them out, tandemhr.com. Give them a call, 630-928-0510. So when I was in school, and I have to assume the same is true now, prank that we would pull is we would put little Post-it notes on people's backs, kick me or something like that. And I'm not proud of it, but I probably did participate a couple of times. It's just so easy to do. So it's always impressive when people use those little shenanigans and tricks actually for a good purpose. And that's exactly what my next guest, Dr. Andrew Albert, joins me here in studio. Doctor, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you are a gastroenterologist at Advocate, and tell me a little bit about. Let's start with just who you are, and then I'll I'll connect the dots and explain to our listeners why I'm talking about pranks and Post-it notes.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for again for having me. So, originally a New Yorker, moved to the Midwest, to Chicago. I'm a private practice gastroenterologist, but also medical director of digestive health at Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center downtown. And with my entire team, we focus on improving health outcomes and preventing all kinds of health issues that people may have, and doing our best to take care of the community.
You sure are. And as a hobby, you're a biker. Am I correct?
That is correct. I enjoy century rides very much, and I'm planning the apple cider very soon.
Okay, that's exciting. So you have ridden around. You've combined your work and your hobby, riding around with a sign. And obviously, we are on radio, so it's a little hard to do visuals. I'll hold it up. The article that has a picture, or the sign that you rode around with, but. Tell me a little bit about the message that you've been sending out around Chicago.
Sure. So the message started one day after I lost a patient to colon cancer, a disease that affects 1 in 22 people and is 95% preventable. One day I lost a patient. That same day a patient mentioned they didn't know what a colonoscopy was. So biking from downtown up to Lakeview, I put a sign on my back saying, lost a patient to colon cancer, did not need to happen, get a colonoscopy. Because I felt like I didn't know how else to get the message out to people. I mean, people come in to see the doctor, but in my mind, that's the tip of the iceberg. And so I felt the need at that moment to let the community know that colon cancer is a thing, it's real, and it impacts 1 in 22 people, and we need to do something about it.
Oh, wow. So colonoscopies are usually something that people dread. So the people that know about a colonoscopy dread it. But you're saying that a lot of people just literally don't even know that it exists or don't know that it's relevant to them. And you're trying to get that message out there?
I'm trying to get the message out that colon cancer happens, and that there are multiple modalities by which you can identify colon cancer. I think most people focus on colonoscopy as being the only way, but there are stool-based tests that we offer patients where they don't have to necessarily get a colonoscopy. And so I think just talking about colon cancer or the colon in general was the goal of the messaging.
So tell us a little bit about the target for that messaging and the people that are most at risk, the people that, frankly, this is a good platform to share. Who should be getting a colonoscopy and how often?
So how often varies, but every single person who has a colon, which is your large intestine, and some people have asked me what a colon was. So a colon is your large intestine. Anyone who's 50 and over needs a check for colon cancer, whether it's a stool test or a colonoscopy, but either way they should talk to their doctor. Most recently, the American Cancer Society lowered their guidelines to suggest starting at 45 years old. So we have a lot of work ahead of us.
And I think that lung cancer, or certainly I know we're sort of watching here in the studio. We see on the TV, we see about Senator John McCain passed away. Thoughts and prayers, obviously, with his family. A patriot, and he died from a form of cancer. But colon cancer, how it's I believe the second most cause of death of all cancers.
Correct. 50,000 people die every year in a disease that's 95% preventable. And so there's tremendous opportunity for people to at least ask their doctor, do I need to get checked? When do I need to get checked? People don't necessarily have to decide. We could help them with that. But people just don't want to talk about the colon. They're embarrassed or ashamed or uncomfortable. And so I've taken the show on the road because I feel like people need to talk about it or at least think about it.
Men and women?
Men and women equally. Men and women, anyone over 50 who has a colon, hopefully will have most people screened at 45 and over, but right now it's 50.
So how effective has the messaging been?
So the messaging has been amazing. About a year ago, after wearing the sign on my back, people across the globe actually put signs on their backs in various languages, all over the Middle East, Asia, Canada, England. The message has gone viral, essentially, and people have been really sharing the message that colon cancer is real. And then, ironically, so many people have relatives who died of colon cancer, but didn't really talk about it with other people. Some family members don't talk to their loved ones about their colon cancer. So the message has been received very well, and we're very excited that people have been so responsive.
So are you planning on just sort of quitting the day job and just going up and down Halstead?
So today I biked about 60 miles up to Lake Forest, and I wore my sign on my back. I will continue to wear the sign on my back until all preventable cases of colon cancer go away.
It's very, very impressive. And when you're riding, I know you mentioned that after your rides, you see the news articles and things pop up, and people are putting signs on their back. While you're riding, are people supportive?
So people stop me on the street to tell me their own personal stories. People stop me on the street to say thank you. People are very responsive.
Okay, fantastic. So, Dr. Andrew Albert, I'm going to have you back on in just a quick moment. Got to squeeze in a very quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment and get down to business.
Deb, I'm so free.
So I never thought that I would say this, but there's something that our guest, continuing on with me, Dr. Andrew Albert, has in common with Chance the Rapper, and that is that they are both on the list of the 20 Chicagoans making a difference and being honored by Streetwise on September 27th. And that's a very, very well-deserved award because you are literally saving lives. So kudos and congratulations on that. I know the work is just beginning. I know you're planning on riding. You did 60 miles today. Heck, you're going to need to do a lot more than that if you're going to eradicate colon cancer. But you're certainly doing your part, that's for sure.
Yes, I'm trying my best.
So congratulations on that award. Again, September 27th by Streetwise. I know you could get on their website and you could learn more about that award and pay tribute to Dr. Albert for the good work that you're doing. But Dr. Albert, you are not only riding up and down the streets, riding up and down Halstead, and I keep picking on Halstead. I'm sure you ride on other streets too. But Halstead, and with your sign of lost to patient colon cancer, did not need to happen. Get your colonoscopy. You're taking the show on the road and you're bringing it to corporations. Tell me about that.
Sure. So the Colon Cancer Coalition was gracious enough to give us a very large grant to essentially offer free colon cancer testing to the community. As you can imagine, not everybody likes going to the doctor. They don't want to come in. They're afraid. They're scared. So we're going out to them. So our team at Advocate Illinois Masonic is going out into the corporate community downtown, and we're offering free colon cancer testing. Ideally during like a lunch and learn or some conference where we're invited. Many people have reached out to us thus far. They're very interested in having us come, as many companies downtown have health screening events. So we're very excited to offer this to people because I think they're worried about colonoscopy being the only test, but really there are many other tests that we can offer.
Got it. But you're not doing colonoscopies on the spot.
I am definitely not doing colonoscopies,
Okay.
Nor do people have to feel uncomfortable. It's just a take-home test.
I just thought I would clarify that.
No, thank you.
And you don't have a mobile colonoscopy that you bring along on your bike rides?
You know, that's actually on my list. I am afraid to get onto it in the air right now, but that has crossed my mind. There are food trucks. There are many trucks. Perhaps a van one day, but right now, no.
So in all seriousness, I know you mentioned just before the break, you mentioned that folks in other countries, in other states, are letting you know about signs that are going up on backs, and that message of, I believe the hashtag is back off colon cancer, is going viral. And How does that make you feel? I mean, for something that you initiated here, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel amazing. I mean, seeing the message in a different language and having people tell me that their loved ones' lives were saved because they got a colonoscopy after that sign campaign happened is incredibly gratifying. So,
aside for obviously encouraging people to get a colonoscopy, what is your message to people? What can people do?
So my message to people is they need to talk about it. They need to ask their loved ones, have you gotten screened for colon cancer? If they're 50 and over, or at least 45, start the conversation with their doctor. That's what we need to happen. Other than that, I mean, as far as the Back Off Colon Cancer movement, anyone who wants to be involved, engaged, volunteer, or do an internship or whatnot to get involved in helping save lives, we would love that. But as far as what you could do on your own, just ask the question. Ask the question of your loved ones, have you been screened for colon cancer? And see what they say, and then encourage them to talk to their doctor.
Absolutely, and I do hope that that our conversation will have many people that will both take that step themselves, but also hopefully tell others. But in terms of that campaign, in terms of people learning more, where can people look? Where can people find out more about this effort?
Sure. So I put a lot of my posts on Twitter. So at Dr. Andrew Albert on Twitter, and then also I have a site on Facebook and online, backoffcoloncancer.com, or hashtag backoffcoloncancer on Facebook. I'd love to hear from people. I'd love to be able to be helpful to them. Working at Advocate, we have a great team, and we're certainly happy to reach out as well.
Fantastic. Well, Back Off Colon Cancer, you can find Dr. Andrew Albert all over. Thank you for the good work that you're doing. Listening to Get Down to Business. We'll be back next Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on AM 560.